Today, I'm going to share with you how to create a hyperlocal and super accurate CMA using artificial intelligence. This is unlike any other CMA creation AI that you might have seen. And the beauty is that you do not need any tech experience to use the CMA creation AI and also to build it for yourself. So first, I'll show you how we use this AI to create our CMAs in our own real estate business right now. And then I'm gonna show you step-by-step how to build it in your market. Now, if you wanna use this exact prompt that's already been built, then comment CMA down below. Once you have your prompt ready to go, you're gonna input your property's information that you're trying to create a CMA on. Now, in order for this to work, you'll be putting the address, the number of beds and baths, the square footage, the lot size, the year that it was built, the number of garage spaces, if there's a pool on the property, and or major features that you want to put into your CMA. Then you're gonna put the condition, 1 to 10 is gonna do fine, 10 being the highest, of course. Any upgrades, renovations, anything unique about the property itself, and also any known issues that could diminish the value of the home. Now, once you've input that information, it's time to go into phase 1. So we're gonna press go. And within a matter of seconds, you're gonna start seeing a ton of information pop up. Now, this is information that is readily available on the internet right now. This is something that it's programmed to go out there and look for high authority websites and get that information that's publicly available. So this recommended listing price is probably not gonna be what you end up going with. This is what you're seeing out in other markets. Now we're gonna pause right here because I need to explain one key difference between this CMA and any other AI generated CMAs that you're seeing on YouTube right now. You're seeing a lot of attempts at creating a AI tool that's gonna create CMAs on autopilot. And that's great effort, that's fantastic. However, those efforts are only taking into account what's publicly available. And one major flaw to that is, especially here in Texas, is that it's a non-disclosure state. This means that the homeowners that buy these properties are not legally required to disclose what they bought the property for. So that leaves a huge gap between what people think the value of the home is versus what actually ended up happening. Which means that if you're only putting what you know about the property out into this GPT and it goes out there and finds everything on the internet, you're working with data that's less than accurate. You have one superpower in the form of the MLS that gives you the comps that you are using right now to get CMAs manually. Well, now we're gonna use that data and input it into this AI, which is what we're gonna do right now. We're gonna take a quick pit stop from what we're doing right here, go over to the MLS and pull the data that we need. So we're gonna log into our MLS and get every single piece of data that we possibly can that's gonna be important for our purposes. Now, I want you to focus more on 180 days, so 6 months of closed data. Then we're gonna go over to where the property is. Now, this particular property that I pulled out of the blue is in this neighborhood that I'm most familiar with, right over here. So these homes were built by the same builder, so were these. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do this right here. We're going to bracket it because we know for the most part, this is the comps that we'd be using anyway. So we're gonna go over here. Doesn't need to be super accurate. And now we have a ton of information. We have actives, we have canceled, we have closed. So right now there's 21 properties that it's going to analyze. We're gonna head over to results. All right, so I know we're going a little bit fast, but I'm gonna show you step by step how to build this and why we're doing this the way that we're doing. I'm just illustrating to you how quick it is. So we're gonna go over here. We're gonna go to a saved view, a saved display that we use every single day here in our market. We're gonna highlight all of these. We're gonna export, which is gonna give you this data that all you'll have to do is put Control A and then Control C, then go back to your GPT and add the rest. Now, again, I'm gonna show you how to construct everything here in 2 seconds, but I want you to see it in action. And what it's doing now is it's taking this hyper local data that you as a real estate agent, only you have access to, not the general public. And you're gonna see very specific information. You're gonna see the comps, same comps that you would have access to, except more manually as you're pricing out your own CMA. the active listings, so your current competition. This is all built-in logic into this particular AI. And now when it previously, if we had gone with the public information and gone out to market at 325 as an example, well, now that we have super hyper local information here, now it's given us a more realistic expectation on that price, which is much more accurate to what homes in this particular market can sell for. Just look back at what has happened historically. Now with this particular AI, it's designed to get you extremely close to what the actual list price should be. However, with that being said, there's still an element that you need to embed into this particular logic. This is where your logic and expertise takes over. This AI is designed to get you 95% of the way there. You're going to introduce that final 5%. You're the one that's going to look at the differences, look at the nuances now that you have a really good framework, really good range to work from. But let's continue because it doesn't stop there. You're going to see that it sets you up for success. You're going to see that it actually gives you an email to send out to your seller. It gives you a text that you can copy and paste so you can get on the phone with that seller. And it even gives you a very brief script that you can play off of whenever you're speaking with your potential seller. And now the more data and the more personalized that you make this AI for your real estate market, the better results you're going to get. Now here again, to get access to this particular AI that you just saw on screen, just comment CMA down below. But I'll caution you, there is some logic embedded in that particular AI that's not going to work for your market. So that's why this part of our video is even more important, because this is where I show you step by step how to create this AI. So let's start fresh by using the framework that we have for AI. And that's by us aiming, where we have an AI first mindset where we see everything as an AI problem to solve. And us interacting by asking questions where we ask it to ask you. And then when we make it ours, where we personalize our GPTs so we can scale our workflow. This is the exact framework that we're going to use to create this CMA AI. And now that we have that out of the way, it's time for us to go to ChatGPT. This is the AI that we're building a lot of our infrastructure under. I understand there's others that exist in the world today, but this is the one that we choose to go with. So we're going to use this prompt, and I'll give you some time to copy it, or I'll also link it down in the description so you can just copy and paste. This is a prompt that's going to allow you to replicate everything that you just saw and even allow you to introduce your own logic into your CMA. Now notice one very important thing, it ends with a question mark. This is the I portion of our AI framework, where we're interacting with our AI using questions. We're asking it to ask us, and that's precisely what it's about to do. It's gonna start generating the information that it needs, specific information that it needs to recreate exactly what you just saw. The first thing that it's gonna need is the subject property details. All of the information that you saw me input at the very beginning when we were doing the CMA is the exact same thing. Now, depending on how well trained your AI is right now, it may jump straight to the answer. It may jump straight into getting the list of comps from your MLS. So this is where it might deviate slightly, and that's okay. Continue to work through this. Then it's gonna go on to ask a bit more about your pricing strategy. How do you go about introducing different variables into your CMAs? And then it might go on to ask you about some output preferences, what you're wanting to utilize this information for and how you want to present it, which at the end, it'll give you a way for you to communicate with the GPT. Now, here's the thing. This is a very prime example of why you want to use the AIM framework, because every single day its logic gets better. Every single day it exponentially grows smarter. So I could show you exactly what it asked me personally way back when I created this hyperlocal CMA AI. And you're gonna notice that it's different. That's why we use this framework. But here again, don't fight it. Make this GPT yours, because the more that you personalize it to your market, whether that's New York City, Miami, Dallas, Houston, Los Angeles, wherever, the better results you're gonna get. And because I hold nothing back in this channel, the exact same GPT that you have access to right now by commenting CMA down below is exactly on the screen right now. This is the exact same GPT logic that was used to create this CMA. So please get it down below and modify it to your specific real estate market, because you might be selling farm and ranch And I'll tell you right now, this particular GPT is not the best for that, because this is the exact same GPT that we use here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. We don't have a lot of farmland and we don't have a lot of land. So our parameters to create a CMA is different than what yours would be. Now, if you found value in this video, please let me know by commenting creator agents down below and checking this video out next.